Celebrity True or False.
You can't handle the truth.
All right, everybody, here we go. Taye Diggs. Did you like that?
Production.
There you go. I keep saying it's great production value, and we finally have a man who can appreciate production value.
Just those little tidbits.
There you go.
Awesome.
All right, here we go. The star of Terry McMillan Presents Forever, available now on VOD through mid-July, and then repeats again July and August, one of the many things to talk about with you, sir. All right, first up, we just talked about Rent, as a matter of fact. Before you were cast in that stellar Broadway production of Rent, you were a cast member in Sebastian's Caribbean Carnival at Tokyo Disneyland. Is that true or false?
That is true.
It's true.
Oh, did y'all? Okay. Yeah.
We're going deep.
Yes, you are.
Was that one of your first gigs, I
That
imagine?
was, yes. And I had this, I had the whole get up with the sailor hat and the bananas on the sleeves and singing Deo, the whole thing.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 5 shows a day.
5 a day?
5 a day, yeah, on the long ones.
In Tokyo?
Yep. And I was the only black person in the park. Tokyo Disneyland. And they had, the character was black because it was Caribbean. And I was, people would walk up to me, the Japanese, and ask me if I was Michael Jordan. They had not seen it. True. Yeah. Michael Jordan? Michael Jordan? No.
Oh, you didn't say yes just even one time?
It was so.
You couldn't do
I'm
that?
so far removed. Yeah,
You're going to cast out as a cast member?
I would say no.
Okay, can't do that. All right, so that's true. Next up, true or false, you won the role of Winston Shakespeare in How Stella Got Her Groove Back, even though the casting directors were searching for a tall man with dreads.
That's what the breakdown said.
What do you mean?
Like, you get a list of like what characters are being auditioned for, and it will give you like the what the character looks like and what the character's vibe should be. And yeah, originally it's a tall with dreads, and I just went in just to show them kind of what I got in hopes that maybe they would cast me in something else. And unfortunately, they liked what they saw. Yeah.
And off you go.
And off I went. I forgot my lines.
What do you mean?
So they have you go out, you audition a couple of times in front of the casting director, and then if you're lucky, if they like you, God bless you, they'll have you do the scene with the actual actress, which was Angela Bassett.
Did you do a scene with her?
I did. I got all the way down to the end there were two other gentlemen, and it's called a screen test.
Yes, sir.
And for that screen test, they put up a kind of pretend set behind you, and Angela Bassett was right there, and I sat next to her. And when they said action, I forgot all of my lines in that moment, and I was like, oh, no. And Angela was just holding my hand because she was supposed to be holding my hand in the scene, and she just kind of was massaging me as if to say, just breathe. You got it.
Well, that would make me forget my lines more, actually.
Thank God.
To be honest with you, I mean, if I may be so bold, but it helped. That actually
luckily,
helped.
It was, it was just a calming, kind of relaxing. I have this table at home. I have this exact table at home.
Good. Yes.
And a little Lady D.
Okay.
A little bit. But I remembered it. She relaxed me into remembering the rest of my lines, and luckily I got the role.
So she
almost
helped.
missed 100%.
She helped Taye get his groove back.
Ooh.
Right?
See, that's why you do what you do.
And I'm not even on Sable yet.
See?
Wait till later when I have it neat. That'll be later on. Number 3, here we go. Celebrity True or False with Taye Diggs. During an intense scene with Nia Long in The Best Man, you did not expect her to actually slap you, but she did.
That is, yes, and I have to apologize. I've been telling that story wrong. I've been telling people,
let's set it straight,
that it wasn't in the script that she slaps me, because I have this crazy night. I'm supposed to go over her house to get some loving.
Yes.
And I get beat up, and she sees me all beat up, and there's no loving that goes down. So it was in the script that she slapped me, but we were supposed to work out the slap with like
a stunt coordinator?
A stunt coordinator, exactly. A stunt coordinator.
A slap coordinator?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, sure.
Because I came from theater. You're supposed to rehearse and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And we were, I guess, short on time or something, and we were doing the scene and we never worked it out. So I wasn't expecting her to actually follow through with it. But she committed and she followed through and connected, and it was something else. But it worked for the scene, and the reaction that you see in the movie is my actual reaction. And I paused a bit, thinking that he's going to call cut. He didn't. So we finished the rest of the scene.
Really?
Yes.
And so you're finishing the rest of the scene thinking
oh, I can't. She's going to get it. Everybody's going to be like, how disrespectful and how unprofessional and nobody said anything.
But your cheek is actually stinging throughout the rest of the scene?
Yes, was it my ego. Yes, and my ego.
Was it full hand? Did she really get...
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
She's a wonderful actress. But she's a great slapper, too.
Yeah, I like that one. Last one in 2003. Oh, this is for you, too, TJ, because TJ was a producer on Punk'd.
That, too.
You got punked getting a checkup at a Punk'd-operated doctor's office?
Yes.
Do you remember this too, TJ?
I do.
Okay. He was a producer on that.
That's crazy.
So that is true then?
It's very true.
What happened?
I was shooting something in Africa, and my manager at the time knew, my manager and a really good friend of mine helped coordinate it. They knew that I was terribly afraid of getting needles.
Okay.
So they made up this whole, day where I had to go and get all of these shots because I was going to Africa and they didn't want me to catch some African virus. Mm-hmm. And, the day before you're not supposed to eat anything. And I went in and they put me through all of these rigorous tests and I was just getting annoyed. And it was a really great, I think it's one of the better ones. Yeah. And then after they jumped out, I felt like I had lost 15 hours of my life, you know what I mean? Because I was in fear from the night before and was thinking of all these. And at one point he says, he had to, what did he say? He had to give it to me in my spine or something?
It was
and he said the needle,
Oh, and the needle was like that.
Something like that. And I was like, there's no other way you can do this? And he said, I remember, he said, what do you want me to do, splash it on you? He was really good, that doctor.
Yeah.
And so...
There was a girl, Jill Wagner, who, if you watch Lioness, she plays Bobby on Lioness.
Okay.
Jill, one of her very first acting gig here is we booked her on Punk. So she was the nurse in the...
That's who that was.
Yeah, Jill Wagner and Steve Ranazizi was the doctor.
That's who that was.
From the league.
From the league, Steve Ranazizi.
Look at him right there, man.
Okay. Yes, he was great.
So you're watching Lioness, she looks familiar.
And I knew it was, yes, for real. I did it kind of familiar. And that is so freaky.
And you're sitting in Video Village laughing your ass off? Is that what you're saying?
It was amazing.
And
I think
it was a good one.
He was stressed because
they
put him through the ringer. He literally had to get on, had all these things stuck to him. Checking all these, it was something else.
Wait, and then you go hang out together afterwards? Is that that photograph we have of you hanging out with Taye? Is that?
Oh no, that's from the club days.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Look at that.
I think that's 2005, and I know where we're at. There's a club called Stereo in New York. That's 20 years ago, and that's probably at 2:45, 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I would think.
And that's Daniel Sanjata. He's an actor up top. Taye and I, our boy Gerald Bunsen. He's there, and that's us.
Good thing neither of you aged at all.
Well,
you know, talking about black, right?
Yeah.
Please.
Don't crack.
Man. All right. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.